Okay, hi everybody. Today we're going to talk about a little bit of improvising using a minor pentatonic scale. So this is the scale that most people learn as their first scale to start improvising with. Let's just tuck into it. I'll give you a few tips for how to use it. So let's say you were in A, sorry, the fifth fret on the low E string, and this is one possible position to play the scale, but it's kind of the most common. So your first finger on the low E string, your fourth finger will play the eighth fret, each finger getting a fret. You play first, fourth, and then the A string, first finger, first third on the D, first third on the G, and the last two strings are the same as the first string. First fourth, I'm sorry, and first fourth. So that's your minor pentatonic, right? Gives you all those great sounds. That we hear all the time. So here's a couple of tips for how you go about using it. So this would work over any tune that's in A minor, like Oye Como Va by Santana, or anything that's in A7 and A blues. It will work great over. All My Guitar Gently Weeps, the first section anyways, is in A minor. So here's some tips. The first is locate the roots within that scale. So here's the root, obviously, and then here's a root, because they're both E strings, and here's a root. That third finger, so no matter what key I'm in, that third finger on the D string is going to be the root in this particular scale shape. Pentatonic scale has 5 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're back to the 1 or the root. Okay? So our roots are like the most stable place we can be. So when you can have an open-ended sentence or a closed-ended sentence. So when I might just come down the scale from one root and on the other root. It's a very complete, structured phrase. Yeah, it's just the scale, but it's, you can phrase it rhythmically and makes it more musical. Another thing that can make it more musical is to double the root when you get to it and when you resolve the phrase. Right? There, I just walked up the scale, doubled the root, come down. Right, I am putting a little stickiness on that note, a little tiny bend to get me back to the root. And push or pull. So knowing where that root is and knowing that it's going to finish your phrase. So if I want to have an open-ended sentence and then a closed sentence, I might play something like this. I'm going to go up the scale. See, there's my root. Went past it, came back to it. Didn't want to stay there because that phrase would be complete, right? So I'm going to go back up one note, whatever my groove is. And then I'll use that same phrase we had before. Those phrases go so well together, but okay. So that doubling of the root and knowing where it is and knowing that it completes your phrase, and if you are on that root and you have more to say, it's best to kind of add a little bit more at the end. It could be like another full couple of notes. See, that's kind of incomplete. And then maybe I want to have another open-ended sentence. Weird phrase, but whatever. And then I'll finish it off. Right? That was just like a pull off and a little bend back up to the B string. Something like that. I can't really remember. So, knowing where your roots are in the minor pentatonic is huge. Doubling the root tends to make phrases sound more melodic, Of course, the bending is a big factor with pentatonic soloing, especially in blues rock and roll style. I have other videos that talk about some bending technique and how to bend in tune. You can check those out. But try these out. Throw on a tune that's in A minor. Like I say, Oye Como Va by Carlos Santana is a great one. You know, While My Guitar Gently Weeps, also in A minor. Allman Brothers, Memory of Elizabeth Reed. Those are, pretty jammy tunes, but I'm sure you can find lots more. Or straight A blues, right? There's a million tunes that are in A. Just to roll around the fretboard until you find that if you put it on the track and you go, oh, that's an A. And then just try it out and move very scalarly. You don't have to jump around all over the scale. That'll sound disorganized. Just take it like stairs. 4 or 5 steps up, a couple steps backwards. And a resolve to the root there. Take a few more steps up. Back, up. See how it's very stepwise, very scalar, very simple, and that's the way to start. So you get an understanding of how the scale behaves and how those notes sound against the chord. Just the scale. Okay, hope that's helpful, and we'll talk about the major pentatonic perhaps next time. Have a great day.